and assist.
Look at me now.
And he put up those numbers in less than 28 minutes on the court. Stephen A. Smith joins us now live from Indianapolis the night after Zion's explosion against Portland. And Stephen A., I know it's only 9 games, small sample size, but so far, do you think Zion will catch John Morant in that Rookie of the Year race?
I don't think he will, but I don't want to rule out the possibility, and here's what I mean by this. Zion Williamson has been sensational in the 9 games he's played. We understand that. But John Morant would have coasted to Rookie of the Year if it were not for his return. Here's what you got to pay attention to. Right now, the Pelicans are about 4.5 games back of the Memphis Grizzlies, who hold the number 8 seed in the Western Conference. If Zion and the Pelicans continue to elevate and Memphis falls off the map for some reason, then what do you think people are going to do? They're going to look at Zion and they're going to say, we don't care about all the games that he missed. Look at the impact this dude has had. Look at what the Pelicans were before he arrived, and look at what they have been since he's been there. And that's what they're going to hold on to. So it's incumbent upon John Morant not just to continue to ball, because I think that will win him the Rookie of the Year, but the more successful Memphis is, if they end up getting into the playoffs and the Pelicans are on the outside looking in, then it belongs to John Morant. If Memphis ends up out and the Pelicans get up in there, obviously Zion's going to get credit for it, and I think that's how he can steal Rookie of the Year honors.
This is going to be a great race all the way to the finish for sure. Tonight, arguably the biggest game of the night is in Denver. Lakers, Nuggets, the 1 and the 2 seeds in the West, in their last games before the All-Star break. So when we look at these standings, Stephen A., Lakers sitting on top of the conference, Nuggets 3 games back in second. So let's throw away those standings now. How big do you think the gap is between LA and Denver?
I don't think there's much of a gap at all. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. Denver Nuggets can play some basketball. They've got some talent. Bart can play. The joke is the joke. He's averaging 20 and 10. As far as I'm concerned, even though Jamal Murray is averaging 18 points a game, he hasn't really found his groove yet. The same could be said for Gary Harris, who's shooting about 30% from the field. You still got a veteran like Paul Millsap in that locker room. Plus, he can give you some quality minutes as well come postseason time. You can't dismiss Denver. They've got athletes. They have perimeter shooters. They've got a star in Joker. And when you look at LeBron and Anthony Davis, certainly the belief is that he might not be able to compare to them. But the reality is that Denver, from top to bottom, is a team that obviously can compete with the Los Angeles Lakers. You're going to need other people to step up, or LeBron James in this 17th season to be Herculean to beat the Denver Nuggets. You ain't going to just coast through the Mile High City. As far as I'm concerned, it ain't that much of a gap at all.
10 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN.
Yeah, same.
When it comes to music, who are you listening to? Just because I like to get put on the new stuff, so I might be slipping. Who y'all listening to on the radio?
I know he's more old school. I do all the new school, like all the Lils, all the Youngs, all the whoever. I listen to all of that.
All the Lils and Youngs, you with?
Like all that new generational stuff.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you, but I'll let him go first.
What you rocking with, Trey?
So like, I'm a slow jam type of dude. So like, I'm an old school.
You are stereotypically light skinned.
I get that all the time.
He listens to slow jam.
That's why I couldn't say it. I had to let him say it.
Hey, don't stand nowhere near my wife.
That's what I said. I had to say it.
That's from being around my pops, my grandpa, like just being around the house and like New Edition come on, Boys and Men.
Yeah, I don't like you. Yeah, like you gonna come in and something. Like I don't want my daughter watching. You know, like you too good, man.
Hey, that's why I said I know he not to say he don't listen to new stuff, but he got a little different.
Jodeci 112 or Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge.
Ooh, Jagged Edge.
Oh, man, I do like you, right?
Jagged Edge.
We send all that, man. My daddy light skinned. Like, you know that. Thank you guys for coming to the shop. I seriously appreciate it. I hope it's not the last. I hope we get to see you guys often. We'll be watching you, and you guys are always welcome. You can always get to see you.
Appreciate it.
I love and respect, guys. Love and respect.
Our experts at NBA TV break down the game. Now they're helping fans raise theirs.
You bring the effort, we'll supply the knowledge.
Your body position is key. Keep your eye line level.
Let's review. The warm-up.
Handles.
The list.
And crunch time.
Any questions?
We cover the game from the layup line to the last shot.
To the win! Yeah! You know NBA TV is available on the Locked In on NBA TV. Don't make me blow this whistle. Focus!
Connecting with the NBA has never been easier than with the NBA app. Your search ends here.
Ice Trey getting ready to play against the Cleveland Cavaliers
Now, Brendan, earlier this season, we saw him in shorts. I like this look a little bit more.
Well, yeah, it's cold outside in Cleveland, man. So, he dressed up the sweatsuit a little bit. I like it. Trey got some flavor.
He do. He got a little drip. I like that. I like what he put together right there.
Victor Oladipo and the Pacers facing the Milwaukee Bucks. We know it's cold where they are as well. But we don't have that. Welcome to the warm-up presented by Ford. We have 11 games on the docket, the last busy night before All-Star Weekend. Chris Miles here with our own All-Star, Steve Smith, also known as Smitty. It's weird calling you Steve Smith. I just feel like Smitty all the time. And Brendan Haywood, our champion. All right, it's rare that we start our show with two teams that are at the bottom of the conference standings, but that's what we're doing tonight because the Hawks and the Cavs, they meet. And they had some trade deadline deals. Cleveland landed Andre Drummond, who hit 2 3-pointers with 19 and 14 in his debut. And the Hawks added Clint Capella, who has not played yet. Of those two, who do you think got the better deal, Brendan?
I think the Hawks got the better end of the deal. When you look at what Clint Capella brings to the table, he's a big that can set picks for Trae Young, get him open, and at the same time he can switch the screen and roll on the other end. So I think that really works out. And he's not on a big money deal too, so that's huge.
Yeah, I'm with Brendan. I think I love Andre Drummond. I feel bad for him because it looks like nobody wants the big guy who plays old school rebound block shots. Long term, it looks like Clint Capella will be with the Hawks. Andre Drummond might be moving on from Cleveland.
Pistons Magic, Andre Drummond's former team, facing Orlando. And the Magic last time out put up 135 points. This is their last game before the All-Star break. But Brendan, they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. When you look at the Magic, looking what they're trying to accomplish this season, going back to the playoffs back-to-back years, do you kind of feel a sense of urgency to try to get this victory to have some momentum going into All-Star break, or is that overrated?
No, I think that the Magic definitely need to try to get this game, not for the momentum going into All-Star break, but simply this time of year when you're trying to secure that last spot, you want to make sure you take care of business. And when you beat teams, you need to beat the teams on the schedule that are teams that you are able to beat. Sometimes you're going to play a team like the Lakers, that's going to be a tough game, but when you play a team like the Pistons, you need to go ahead and get that win.
Nikola Vucevic is the guy for me. 24, 9, and 9. 9 assists, I was very impressed, B. Wood. And when he scores 20 or more, when I think also they just start with the basketball with him with touches, it makes life easier. I know everybody loves the perimeter game, but I think you got to get it into Vooch.
Wizards, Knicks, forget the game. Let's talk about the mess that is New York. Oof. So recently they went on a 4-game winning streak, their longest since December of 2017. A lot of attention should be going to interim head coach Mike Miller. Instead, it was Steve Stout who came out and said the Knicks need to find a new head coach. And then the Knicks released a statement that said, oh, no, he doesn't speak for us. Just the mess that's surrounding the Knicks when it should be a positive time.
Steve Stout gonna mess around and get fired on his day off,
well,
man.
I think for me, B. Wood, you start to look at the changes and obviously new president, but it starts all over again. The same old New York Knicks. I mean, they have to find a way to set the culture, start to get this going in the right way. It seems like every time they take two steps forward, they take 2 steps back.
Yeah, the biggest thing for the Knicks is making sure they get people in there that can make the right type of basketball decisions. They have to draft better. They have to make better trades. You can't trade a guy like Porzingis, who's averaging like 27, 28 points per game when Luka's not playing. You trade that guy and you only get cap space back. That's just not the right type of move. So they need people going to make smart basketball decisions. I know they brought Steve Stout in to change the perception. But the Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks fans, they understand what winning is about. They've seen winning before.
Yeah, no one cares about the PR part of it. Just win some games.
Win some games. You don't need a PR department. You'll sell tickets.
Brendan, you say win some games. How about the Toronto Raptors? A franchise record, 15 in a row, and they're also facing the Brooklyn Nets, who they are 18-1 against them in their last 19 games. Let's focus on Toronto. Smitty, do they have a legitimate shot to represent the East in the finals in back-to-back years, considering how well they're playing ahead of last year's pace?
Yeah, they do, and I think we're not giving Nick Nurse enough credit. He's my coach of the year this year. One thing I love about them is you look at their numbers, they can score, but the way they're scoring to me, B. Wood and Chris, they share the basketball and watch guys without the basketball. They move with a purpose, and then they also still get it done on the defensive end. A lot of accountability with those guys, and I give a lot of credit to Kyle Lowry. He's the leader. He's the captain. He set the tone.
I agree with you. I think Nick Nurse is hands down the coach of the year this year. When you talk about their best player in Kawhi Leonard leaving for no compensation, and the team right now is in a better spot than they were last year with Kawhi Leonard. So you look at the 15-game winning streak, but what tells me that this is a well-coached team is that all the young guys step off the bench and play well. just slid that in there on me, huh? Okay.
Serge Ibaka, we saw the scarf last week. He's at it again, Brendan. What do you rate this one?
I like that. That's a nice outfit. I like the sweater, the scarf. Not quite as long as last week's scarf. I like this week's scarf a little bit better.
Yeah, you know, he said it's not fashion. He said it's